Hello, my name is Ali Anderson. I'm a minister at Full Gospel Tabernacle in Massapequa, Long Island, New York. I'm posting this video because of some of the events that has happened this week. It's caused great concern. We saw two suicide deaths of two media figures. I say that of Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain, two people that have some type of celebrity status. Reading the headlines today here in Long Island, 3 teenagers were killed yesterday in a horrific car accident in which the driver, who was a 15-year-old young lady, took a car that didn't belong to her, actually belonged to one of the passengers in the car, while it belongs to their father. Car flipped over, 3 of the teenagers died. She also had her child in the car, a baby. Thankfully, the child survived. With these things that we're seeing in our headlines, there were 5 overdoses in one apartment, and one of the people died. 2 of the people that overdosed had overdosed twice within a 24-hour period, and one of them died. And as I read these things, and as I see more and more what's going on in our world around us, I just felt the need to put a call out to people of faith, Christians, believers, that at this point in time, this crucial point in time, we need to start spreading the word of God once again. There's been a lack of Christianity in our society on a whole. And what people don't realize is that without God, they have nothing. As you read and you've studied the word, we see that this is what we were commissioned to do as followers of Christ. Being a follower of Christ is no more than what a disciple was. That is what disciple means. It means a follower of Christ. And Jesus commissioned his 12 to go out and to spread his word. Not only did he come here to die for us, but he commissioned us and gave us a mission to also spread his word and to tell people of Jesus and who he is. When you read the headlines and you see how people are overdosing, you see the upticks in overdoses, you see the upticks in drug use, you see the upticks in suicides. People are looking for answers. People are unhappy. And those of us that know Christ, that know Jesus, we know that Jesus is the answer. And he's the only answer. And there's a world of people out there. Some don't know. Some don't want to know. But it's our job to plant seeds. And to plant the seed of faith. And to plant the seed of Jesus in these people. To let them know that Jesus is the answer. And he's the only answer. So I'm putting a call out to my fellow Christians, fellow believers, to start to take the opportunity that God places before you, to start to teach his word, to start to tell people who this man named Jesus is. The easiest way to do that is to live the life that we're supposed to live according to the word of God. And yes, as a believer of God, there is a higher calling and there is a higher standard that we're supposed to live to. And when you start to understand that, and when you start to live in that way, God will open up the doors. People will start to come to you and ask you, what is it that's different about you? Why do you go through this life? What is that happiness that I see in you? People will be drawn to that. And that's an opportunity to tell people about this man named Jesus. So I encourage all of my Christians and believers to make sure you get into the house of God tomorrow, into your local churches, And it's time to start filling the house of God once again for people to be fed. It's time to bring the sheep into the house once again so that people can be taught and fed the word of God. And it's time for us as Christians to start believing, and on Sundays getting into the house of God to get our weekly fill up. We should be there more than once a week, but I know how work schedules and things go, and sometimes that's all we can get there. But make sure that we take that opportunity to get that fill up that we need, so that during the week we can pour out blessings and we can pour out the word of God into people. So I'm just trying to take this small opportunity to just encourage people this day. And those of you who may watch this, and you may not know who God is, and you may want to know. You may say, you know, I've heard of this man named Jesus, but I'm not too sure about it. I would encourage you to get into a house of worship. Find somebody that you may know before, you know, if you feel intimidated to go into a house of worship, find somebody that you know. Maybe one of them believe, and you start to inquire about this man named Jesus. For those of you who already know who he is, I encourage you to make sure that we're telling people who this man named Jesus is. This is a very crucial time. Time is short. I believe Jesus is coming back soon. And I want to see as many people get to heaven as possible. So for those of you who watch this video, I thank you for your time. And I hope that it is an encouragement to you to do the will of the Father. Thank you, and be blessed.